Hi guys, it's me Zim, and this is a video on a game that I've played before for a little while. This game is very cute, and I really hope that it gets more love and more publicity in the world because this game is actually pretty damn fun. Now, you're probably wondering what this game is, and before I expose the name, have ever wanted to play a game that was like if Ghost in the Shell, Coated Arms, Halo, and Battlefield all decided to have a party and they ended up making a bowl of fruit punch that is this game? Well, then look no further than Incursion, Rite of Conquest. The description in the store page says this. This is a third-person multiplayer team shooter for Windows. Select one of up to 8 unique teams, each with their own characters, with different weapons, roles, strengths, and weaknesses. Play this game with your friends, cooperative versus bots, competitively with bots filling in the gaps, go 1v1 with them, turn off the computer or fight the computer by yourself, capture objectives, play for kills, or just explore and have fun. The choice is yours. If you have friends you want to play with but other multiplayer games feel too daunting for them, this might be a game for you. Multiplayer is clunky but should work on LAN. Also on online, because that's also a thing too. WASD for the controls. WASD is to move, left click to shoot, right click to aim, space is to jump, V is to change view, shift to sprint, Q to change weapons, R to reload, and T for mouse. Future updates will also include more maps, more characters, more interactive environments, more ways to earn points, vehicles, more game modes, and the list probably goes on. Updates will be released every month or so. I am but one man. Yes, just one guy making this. So what you're seeing is all been made by one dude and maybe his friends every once in a while. It says here in the notes, please note that this game is still very early in development. There will still be lots of bugs and a lot of gaps in the content. This is a huge project that I've been working on by myself for a very long time, and I intend to keep working on it for a very long time. I've had some help from friends, but haven't been able to compensate them. With your support, I would like to continue working on this game and the stage it deserves to the stage it deserves to be. I've put this game out for free so that everyone can play, but if you would like to support the development of the game, or even influence its design, considering supporting us at Patreon, Incursion Studio, or donate directly through itch.io. If you want updates on development, be sure to follow me on Twitter, and their Twitter is C. Surgul. I think I butchered that. I apologize if I did. Share this game with your friends and have fun. There's also more info down here. It was updated 74 days ago, which is basically during January. It was published on April 30th, 2020, so it came out literally 2 years ago. It's still in development. It's for only Windows. Its rating is all 5 stars, and there's only 4 reviews. Well, 4.5. There's only 4 reviews. I'm one of them. The author is C. Surguro. I can't really say his name right. I apologize. It's a shooter made in the Unreal Engine, 3ds Max, and GIMP as co-op, and all sorts of tags. The average session should be about half an hour. It's in English. It's compatible with keyboard and mouse. Xbox controllers has local and ad hoc network multiplayer. And the player count is single player. Basically, you can play it by yourself. You don't have to have other people with you. And they have the Twitter link, which I'll have down in the description along with the Patreon. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, that's cool. The game from the gameplay looks cool, along with the fact that you mentioned it in the store page of itch.io. But you're probably wondering, like, what's so cool about this game? Like, what can there be added from you that would make me want to play this game? Well, for starters, as you're seeing from the footage, The gameplay is actually pretty fun. It's, as I said, it's a mix of... It has the animations of coated arms for some of his equipment. It also it is a mix of Halo because of the fact that some characters have energy shields, and the movement's pretty fast-paced depending on what character class you chose. The graphics are pretty cool. As I said, it looks like coated arms mixed with some other games here and there. But another thing is that the game's shooting feels very satisfying because the reload animations and stuff like that. And even though there's a small amount of cons that can deter people from playing, it's actually pretty damn fun. Now, you're probably wondering, well, if that's the case, what am I to expect based off the cons? Well, here are the cons for the game. And no, this game is being made by one person, and it is still in alpha, so there's not a lot to go off of based off pros and cons. But here's what I have. Con 1, barely any settings, and this is the truth because I checked the settings first time playing, or I checked the setting multiple times, and there is no way to change any fundamental settings at the moment. The game runs on your max resolution, max frame rate, and max graphics, and you cannot change any of that, unfortunately. The only thing you can change is your player name, your FOV, mouse sensitivity, player icon, preference whether you want third or first person, and that basically is about it. Every other game sorry for the voice crack. Every other game I've played that was in alpha at least had fundamental settings involved, and it's rather unfortunate that this game doesn't. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only con, though. That's the only major con. The rest of them were just nitpicks, like slightly overpowered weapons that aren't balanced properly, characters that are way too weak. Hell, one of my favorite characters in the game is way too dang weak. And the fact that most of the factions don't have a lot of characters. The maximum you'll probably see is around 5, maybe 6 characters, and that's depending on what faction you chose, because some factions only have like 1 character, maybe 2. And let's not forget the fact that the game has barely any textures, and there's only 1 map at the moment. There's a lot more cons, but those are so minor that literally they don't really mean squat. Now, the pros, I would like to say, is the weapon variety. The weapon variety is really, really, really good. If I had to say, how good the weapon variety is, like, there's multiple assault rifles, and there's, like, multiple LMGs, multiple pistol variants, well, only 1 pistol, but multiple variants of it, I mean to say. Along with the different characters, different classes use different weapons in general, and so these weapons have their upsides and downsides. You may get an assault rifle that has a high fire rate, but does like minimal damage. You may get an assault rifle that does reasonably low, slower than the fastest firing rifles, but it either has like a special like coded type of ammunition like poison, fire, or something along those lines. You may get weapons that have like higher damage output because they have armor-piercing rounds and stuff like that. Heavy frame weapons that reduce recoil. All sorts of weapons. You got multiple types of snipers, some charged snipers, and they're all bolt action. You get DMR. There's also DMRs. There is also burst rifles. 2 shotguns, as I've seen, but there's only 1 character that carries shotguns, and that's part of the Femme Fatale faction. There is I call it the Femme Fatale faction because That's basically what they are. It's just a whole squad of females. Completely opposite of the Rangers, which are all male. Another pro is that most characters have a lot of buffs. The character that you see me playing on screen right now, he has like the highest health output in this faction, but he only has one rifle, and can only select different pistol variants, and that's it. And the entire time of me playing as the guy, I kept thinking that his rifle was burst when it actually was fully automatic. I should have read the description of the weapon in the bottom right, but still. He's a pretty good character, and since he has a high health output, he's willing to tank things, and he has a lot of armor too. The maximum I've seen a character's armor go up to is 7. So, and that's with armor plating. So, another thing is that you'll notice that there's items on the floor. That's another pro, and that there's equipment lying all over the ground. It reminds me of the good old days of the classic shooter games, such as like boomer shooters, such as Quake, Doom, Blood, Duke Nukem, and all sorts of other games where you had to pick up equipment and supplies off the ground every chance you got in order to help out with your survival. You'll see medkits on the ground that will negate any negative effect from any type of like special round and give you slow health regen. There is also a green healing vial that heals you fully upon use. There is a ammo box that can refill your ammo, and there's an ammo box that refills your special ammo. That one's orange. The regular ammo box is blue. There's armor plates that you can pick up just in case if you don't pick up the one back at base. There's also a wad of money you can pick up that help boost your supplies a little bit. This is a supply package that boosts your supplies more. There's also another item, if I'm correct. It's a can of soda that regens your stamina instantly and makes it regen a little bit faster than normal, especially when it's depleted. But, yeah. The only downside to the game's combat is that there's no crouch button, but then again, game in alpha, so there probably wasn't a priority at the moment. Aside from that, aside from all that, the aside from all that, sorry about that. Was focusing on the gameplay, see if I was gonna survive that one scene, because I usually black out when I usually don't remember sometimes what I did in gameplay. But aside from that, there's a lot of items on the floor you can pick up in order to actually for your survival. The one thing too is that the game's combat, along with the weapon animations, reloads and all, are very satisfying. Reloading the gun has satisfying animations such as mag tapping. This is mag tap. One in a chamber system, have you seen from the gameplay? You have to rack around in the gun. Every time you have a dry mag and you swap it. And it includes pistols. The animations in third person are really good. You can actually tell the difference between when the character's running normally and sprinting. You can also the camera for third person is actually pretty good too. Although it feels like I'm playing, if I had to guess, it feels like I'm playing a SOCOM game based on how the camera is in third person. But it's I would highly recommend people to actually play the game, to be honest, because of how good the gunplay is. It's fast-paced and it's fun. Now, another pro, aside from the multiple characters, as I said in the description of the game, but they all have varying benefits and upsides to them. Characters with helmets are a lot more resistant to headshots. Some characters can breathe underwater. Some characters come with energy shields. One of my favorite characters that I play as, and one of my favorite factions, the Marines. Artemis, the pilot, has energy shields, and they're pretty decent, but they need a buff along with other buffs. Artemis just needs a genuine buff in general. If I had to say, some characters are class specific. Some characters wear heavier armor, so they move slower, but they are a lot more hardy. Some characters wear lighter armor, so they're a lot faster, but they're really squishy. Some characters have a mix between the two, so they're not only more maneuverable, but they can eat hits if possible. Some characters have special perks that allow them to be resistant to certain ammo types, such as venom, fire, and all sorts of other ammo types. There's also some characters that are able to double jump and sprint a lot faster. One of the characters in the faction we're playing as, which is the police headquarters, the stereotypical, well, not stereotypical, the normal rifleman, he has a jetpack, and he's able to double jump because of it. And it's actually quite cool because it gives more diversity to the characters' classes and how they function. Another thing to mention, this game is, as the said in the description, is free. You don't have to pay money. If you want to, you can donate to the Patreon and to Itch.io directly, so they'll be able to, like, you know, be happy and be able to continue playing the game. Making the game, I mean. Now, there are some things that are, like, a little bit jarring, such as the fact that when a game ends, the game just abruptly ends. Once a faction of any choice gets up to 10,000 points, it's over. That's about it. The game just ends abruptly. Now, from the footage you're seeing now, you are watching me in the training room, which is a pretty cool looking training room, to be honest. It shows off what you can buy, an energy drink. You can refill your ammo. It shows off all the beacons of all the faction colors, so you know which one's which. And if you go all the way to the other side, you will find a bunch of other NPCs that are from different factions, and you get to, like, see what they look like all together, like their color scheme and what they wear. And it's actually quite interesting because the characters all look very good. Like, their art style is really pretty and nice. And you also have the fact that some characters have multiple skins. As you see, this character, Alice, has 3 skins, and they're all pretty detailed. You didn't see the operators for the police force. Then you have the 1st Recon, then Black Watch, and then after that is Rangers and the Marines. Which, the Marines is the character that I personally like playing as a lot, as I mentioned before. But, yeah. All these characters have different perks and stats, and all the weapons are pretty decent and pretty cool looking too. Although some of the weapon choices are very limited, and it's mainly because, as I said, the game is an alpha. But the game's overall core is actually there, and it's nice. It's not bare bones. There actually is something for you to do. Also, certain characters have animations when being shot, such as, like, wincing or gritting your teeth. And I would have shown it off here in the video, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time. I just wanted to show off the characters, see what they look like, and all their faction names. and this is what Artemis looks like in third person. As you can see, the running animation is severely different from the normal jog or animation. And there's a jump animation too. And the third person animations for the weapons are actually quite nice too. I forgot to mention the previous time I tried to record this audio that certain characters do have actual, if I had to say, they have actual little backgrounds. Artemis is a little bit funny because her background is that she may be a pilot, but she's unable to pilot her plane due to the fact that it costs a crap ton of money to even like get it repaired, like just from scratching the paint. So it's actually kind of funny because it's funny because of that. But yeah, as you can see, this is the rifle from that looks like it belongs in Halo. It's pretty cool. I like it that it looks like that. And the fact that it has that legacy aim thing, like when you just zoom in when the gun's still to the side. But still, it's pretty cool. And there's a lot more factions under that. There's a lot more factions planning on being added. Not to mention, I also think that this game has a lot of potential. Mainly because of the fact that there's a lot of multiplayer shooters that are very monotonous lately, with Battlefield 2042 flopping, Call of Duty not doing too hot, and Halo Infinite's player base dropping due to the fact that there hasn't been much updates for a while. But aside from that, the game is actually pretty darn fun. I really wish this game would get more love. And the only way I could do like express my love for the game is that you guys like go to their Patreon and go to their Twitter and like follow them so that you can help them out. Because I would, but I don't have any money. I follow them on Twitter so I can keep an eye on updates, but I don't have any money to even see if I could donate to them. And if I did, I would have donated to them in a heartbeat. But the best I could have done was at least make a video. And the video may be a little unprofessional, but at the same time, I'm expressing my actual feelings for the game. This game is actually quite fun. And the descriptions for some of the characters are really hilarious. Some of them are really cool, like lore-wise, but some of them are like just funny. Like Corporal Ramirez is the only character in the Rangers. His reason for actually joining the Corps was the fact that he wanted to get enough money to buy himself a new car, but that was 7 years ago. So I guess the Corps was more important than paying and getting a new car to him. Either that or he never got a chance to. But still, the animations and sound effects of the weapons are really good, and all the characters look nice. And that's the reason why I think this game's also a reference of Metal Gear, because Corporal Ramirez's freaking helmet just looks like Metal Gear Rex's head. Like, just looks like Rex's freaking helmet. And it looks very nice. And I like how he also has like little mini headphones strapped to the side to make it look like cat ears for him, like firing range headphones. It's kind of cute. But other than that, the game is really fun. I highly recommend it if you guys ever to download the itch.io store launcher, or just like download the game from itch.io's website. I would highly recommend it a lot. If I had to go based off of a rating, which I don't like doing because I don't like ratings at all. But if I had to go based off of a rating, it would be a solid 8 out of 10 for a indie game. And if I had to go based off of a grade, it would be a B+. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, comment if you want to see more. If you give it a like, and if you want to see more, comment. And if you want to see more from this channel as a whole, subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. And before I leave, I shall iterate this one more time. If you ever have the chance, or if you want to, please go subscribe to their Patreon and follow them on Twitter to like support them in order to keep the game going, because this guy has been working on this game for years now, and the progress he's made is actually quite nice, and the game looks really fun. So I really hope this game gets more added to it, and yeah, see you guys next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Just enjoy the remaining amount of gameplay that's left of me playing as Artemis. See you guys later.
Okay.